The movie opens with a quiet yet meaningful scene. We see a man named John walking several dogs along a beautiful street. At first glance, it looks like a peaceful morning routine, but there's a twist: none of these dogs belong to him. John works as a dog walker for rich people. Every day, he takes their expensive pets for walks, feeds them, and returns them once his job is done. As John hands one of the dogs back, we see the owner, a wealthy woman, hugging the dog with deep affection. She feeds it lovingly and treats it almost like her own child. Watching this from a distance, John feels uncomfortable. Something about rich people loving their pets more than humans quietly irritates him. The next day, the story introduces us to Irene, a beautiful and confident young woman. She is seen with her current boyfriend, but it quickly becomes clear that he is not rich enough for her lifestyle. Irene has a habit: she constantly changes boyfriends, always choosing wealthy men so she can live a luxurious life without worrying about money. That night, her boyfriend is heavily drunk. Despite being annoyed, Irene helps him to bed. Parallel to this, we see John working at the same luxury hotel, where he works as both a waiter and bartender. While serving drinks, John meets a rich guest who casually offers him an extremely expensive drink. John hesitates: he has never tasted something so costly before. This moment highlights the massive gap between John's reality and the world of wealth surrounding him. Later that night, Irene walks into the hotel bar. She notices John asleep behind the counter and angrily throws something at him to wake him up. John panics, fearing she might complain about him. Nervously, he explains that he doesn't usually sleep on duty. Irene mistakenly assumes John is a rich man, not realizing he's just a bartender. She calls him over, sits close, and compliments his scent, saying he smells like a hunter, strong and masculine. Flattered, John serves her drinks, and the two slowly begin talking. As the night goes on, they both get drunk. Their conversation deepens, chemistry builds, and soon, they end up together in one of the hotel's expensive rooms. What starts as a random encounter turns into a passionate night. But the next morning, Irene disappears without a word. John wakes up confused and worried. He searches for her everywhere but fails to find her. Days turn into weeks, and weeks into an entire year. Eventually, John accepts that she's gone and focuses completely on his work. Then one day, fate plays its game. While working at the hotel, John suddenly sees Irene again, laughing with her new rich boyfriend. He is shocked. She looks exactly the same, confident and carefree. John immediately tries to hide his identity, pretending to be just another waiter. Irene notices him, but she doesn't recognize him at all. John watches silently as her boyfriend proposes to her with a ring. Irene kisses him and accepts the proposal. John feels crushed. His heart sinks as he realizes how easily she moved on. That night, Irene comes back to the bar alone, searching for John. She pretends not to know him but asks why he is alone. John lies, saying his girlfriend didn't come. They drink again. The attraction returns. Once again, they spend the night together. But the next morning, Irene leaves quickly to return to her fiancé, lying about where she had been. Her boyfriend grows suspicious and tells her that he saw her at the bar with another man. Annoyed by his doubts, Irene storms out and goes straight to John. She still doesn't know the truth about him. They meet secretly again, but hotel staff almost catch them. To hide John, Irene covers him with a blanket. At this moment, she finally learns the truth: John is not rich. He is just a hotel worker. Disappointed and frustrated, Irene leaves. She immediately starts calling other rich men, desperate to secure her luxurious lifestyle again. Most of them ignore her. Finally, one man agrees to meet her for dinner. At the restaurant, she waits. And then John appears. John apologizes and tries to talk, but Irene coldly tells him to leave. She reminds him she's on a date. John still asks her out for the next day. She refuses. When her rich date arrives, John watches them from a distance, heartbroken. Irene notices John staring and becomes irritated. The next day, John insists again. This time, Irene agrees, but only because she plans to use him. She orders the most expensive food possible. John spends all his savings just to keep up with her. After dinner, she demands a hotel room, the same luxury hotel they used to meet at. She then drags him shopping, forcing him to buy expensive clothes. John empties his bank account completely. Even after that, she spots another dress and John buys it too. At the end of the date, Irene hands John a first-class ticket, telling him to go back to his job. John quietly hands her €1, saying, "With this euro, you own 10 seconds of me." She waits 10 seconds and walks away. That night, John desperately searches for work but finds nothing. Then, an older rich woman approaches him and makes an offer: stay with her, and she will give him everything he wants. With no other choice, John accepts. John spends the night with the rich woman, but his heart isn't in it. The next morning, while going downstairs, he sees Irene again, this time with another man. Hurt and confused, John returns to the rich woman. During breakfast, Irene notices John and confronts him, accusing him of stalking her. John calmly says he's there with someone else. She doesn't believe him until the rich woman appears and pulls John away. Now living under the protection of this wealthy woman, John's life changes dramatically. She dresses him in expensive clothes, buys him luxury items, and takes him shopping. She even chooses blue clothes for him because she likes the color. In the changing room, Irene accidentally sees John trying on expensive outfits. Shocked, she approaches him and hands him €1 again, saying he can talk to her for 10 seconds. But this time, something feels different. John's lifestyle completely transforms. He now lives in luxury, surrounded by expensive art, fancy rooms, and rich company. Yet, whenever he looks out from the balcony, his eyes search for Irene. Eventually, Irene calls him to her room. She brings him a gift. When John opens it, he finds a simple dumbbell, a symbol of control and ownership. They talk. Irene realizes that despite all the luxury, John doesn't truly belong to this world. Slowly, real feelings start developing between them. For the first time, Irene begins to fall in love. She kisses him, but suddenly John receives a call and has to leave. Before he goes, Irene breaks his watch, hinting at something deeper. The next morning, woman wakes John up and takes him to a surgeon, forcing him into a procedure he doesn't want. Later, while driving, she notices John's broken watch and takes him to a watch shop, buying him an extremely expensive watch worth thousands. John pretends to be happy, but his heart remains with Irene. He rushes to meet Irene and proudly shows her the watch. Her fiancé sees it too and admires it. But later that day, Irene breaks her own watch, symbolizing her rejection of time, wealth, and control. John grows jealous and begins calling Irene's fiancé repeatedly, disturbing him with fake room service calls. Irene finds out and laughs. She understands now. The rich woman grows suspicious and warns John. If you talk to anyone else, this luxurious life will be taken away. John places the expensive watch on the table and walks away. Later, we see John again, still dressed in luxury, riding a branded scooter. The rich woman has given him everything just to keep him under control. John and Irene try to escape together at night. They talk, laugh, and spend time by the sea. Irene finally opens up about her life, her fears, and her loneliness. But morning comes. Irene has to return to her fiancé. Later, Irene tells John that she is leaving forever. They share a final kiss, but her fiancé secretly sees everything and leaves her immediately, canceling the hotel bills and abandoning her. Irene is left alone, broken and helpless. That evening, John secretly sells the expensive watch to pay all her hotel bills. When the rich woman asks about the watch, John admits the truth: he sold it for Irene. The rich woman understands and quietly leaves his life. Later at a party, Irene asks John for help one last time, to make her ex-boyfriend jealous. John agrees. The plan works. But when the rich woman sees John with another woman, John finally confronts her and says he's done. He gives everything back, even the scooter. In the final moments, Irene realizes the truth. She leaves her old life behind and runs to John, confessing her love. John accepts her, not for her beauty, not for her wealth, but for who she truly is. They ride away together on a scooter, starting a new journey.